What's happening, Game Roomies? I just sort of wanted to connect with you guys before we start E3 streaming this coming Saturday. Wanted to give a definite schedule as well as a quick idea of sort of what I think we can expect from these press conferences. I'm going to be firing it off real quick, so don't even worry about it. We're going to get right to it. This is actually going to be replacing the Power Hour that we had scheduled for this week, so there will be no live stream until Saturday when we finally start doing E3 coverage, and that'll go from Saturday to Tuesday. Alright, so let's get to it. Starting Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing live stream coverage of the EA Play event, which is actually EA's pre-E3 stream, where they go over some of the games that we'll expect people to be playing and seeing on the show floor. Last year, their centerpiece title was Battlefield 1, so I'm not exactly sure what we can expect out of this year's stream. I assume Battlefront 2 will probably sort of take the forefront of what they're going to be discussing during that event, but you can't be completely sure. Then the following day, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we'll be covering the Xbox conference. This one, we have plenty of reason to be excited for. Last year's event was spectacular. You know, they opened by showing the Xbox One S, and then they continued on to show game after game, a lot of really interesting, unique new IPs that are going to be available both on Xbox One and on PC. And at the end, they announced that they were doing this Project Scorpio, which is like a new console. Well, not exactly a new console, but like a new iteration of the Xbox One that's going to be significantly more powerful and I think sort of caters to more technically proficient gamers. I don't know if it's something that I personally will be interested in playing, but I'm definitely excited to see what it is and how it stacks up against the PS4 Pro. Then Sunday into Monday, midnight for me, we'll be covering Bethesda's conference, and who knows, honestly, what they're going to show. There have been rumors creeping around about a new IP for Bethesda, and I'm really excited to see what that is. We'll probably get some more information on Elder Scrolls Legends, which I think just stepped out of its closed beta into fully being released not that long ago, and it's now available on like Apple products and some Android tablets. So we'll probably hear something about that. I don't expect that we'll hear about a new Elder Scrolls game, but I honestly don't think too many people care. You know, a lot of Elder Scrolls fans are currently like sort of divided between the online game and the newest Skyrim, which just came out. Oh, and we'll probably hear about Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, which I guess is the greatest thing that nobody ever asked for, but that's fine. Monday at 4 p.m., we'll be covering Ubisoft's press conference. Now, remember, this is in Eastern time, so like New York to the coast. Ubisoft always brings their A game, and even if you do not like the games they make, the way they handle their presentations, it's very exciting, very passionate, very it's made to cater to gamers, but it's also a very strong general media event, you know? So even if you just enjoy sort of like the party house vibe that they bring, it's an exciting time, even if you're not really interested in their games. That being said, they also have a lot to show in terms of games, because we just received an announcement for the newest Far Cry title, and it's been a while since a new Assassin's Creed game has come out, and Ubisoft said that they wanted to step away from that franchise, focus on improving it, making it, you know, more refined, and stopping the sort of repetitive annual release schedule that they were on. And I think this will be the time that we finally get to see what that amounts to, and I'm definitely excited about that. Sony, Monday night, 9 p.m., I am incredibly excited about their press conference, because we really don't know what to expect from them, you know? They're probably not going to make any major hardware announcements since the PS4 Pro and PlayStation VR just came out. So either they're going to completely blindside us with an announcement that we don't know anything about yet, or they're going to have to solely rely on very major software announcements, which I think is equally exciting. You know, any press conference or media briefing for something like E3 that focuses entirely on announcing really incredible, really hype games tends to be just as substantial as a major console announcement. So, you know, if a new Infamous game happens to be somewhere down the line. If, we get more information on the fate of Kingdom Hearts 3, or even, gameplay demos for games like The Last of Us Part 2, these are sort of the sort of convention defining surprises that we can expect from a company like Sony. And of course, we'll probably get another look at the new God of War, which looks like it'll be dealing with Norse mythology. The game looks awesome. A lot of the games that they have lined up look really cool, but there are also games that we don't know about that might get announced during this time, so that's very exciting. And then the last live stream will be Tuesday at noon with the Nintendo Spotlight, which I believe is going to be centered around Super Mario Odyssey, but we might see other game announcements happen there. I personally am really hoping they announce a new Metroid title. Between Metroid Other M and Metroid Prime Federation Force, fans of the series are feeling slighted in a lot of ways, and reasonably so. So I really hope that Nintendo takes sort of the new, more powerful elements of the Nintendo Switch and utilizes them to create a new game in that series. They often approach their more obscure IPs with the philosophy of not creating a game like F-Zero or Metroid unless they can find a way to utilize their current control scheme or their current platform to make it original, unique, and different. But the thing about making beloved franchises is that you can benefit from having them not necessarily stagnate, but stick to their formulas in a lot of ways. People don't want a new Metroid because they want to see how the Nintendo Switch will expand on it. They want to see this IP come into high-definition visuals and, the potential for stronger storytelling and world building. This is what people are interested in. Not that, like, breaking away from conventions and formulas haven't worked. I mean, I'm almost positive it's going to work for Mario Odyssey, and it definitely worked for Breath of the Wild, but it's not for everything. Some people are holding out hope for a Smash Bros. Announcement. I personally don't think that's going to happen, and I also don't think it's really necessary. I mean, if they're going to launch a Smash Bros. Game for the Switch, I think Smash 4 is substantial enough where just porting that game with a few extra characters is good enough. I don't think it's really necessary to go and build a whole nother game from the ground up. That being said, if they decide to do so, we probably won't see it for another 3 years anyway, so announcing it at this E3 to me seems a little bit wasteful. That being said, Nintendo also announced a lot of their heavy hitters back in January, so if they really do want to catch people by surprise, it might be a necessity. One thing I'm really hoping for is some sort of convergence between the 3DS and the Switch, because with the Switch being a handheld console, it's almost as though they're sort of cannibalizing their efforts with their actual handhelds. Not that the 3DS isn't still going to sell itself, but I'd like to see those platforms work together in some sort of way. And that's what I'm most excited about for Nintendo. So, as you can see, this E3 is still going to be as much of a kicker as they usually are. It's going to be really exciting. There's a lot that we already know is coming that's going to be super cool to watch sort of play out and expand. And there are a lot of things that we don't know yet. So, hopefully you guys will be tuned in with us this Saturday when we start doing coverage for it. If not, we'll be covering all the way through to Tuesday. You have the schedule, and I'll have it posted, as I said, everywhere. So, also, we're going to be partnering with MMO Examiner again. That's a pretty big deal. So, they're going to be working with us to facilitate the stream and embedding our stream everywhere on the site. So, keep an eye out for that. And that's about all that I have to cover. For those of you watching this on YouTube, comment below what your most anticipated games are. What about E3 you're looking forward to the most. And otherwise, thank you all for watching, and come back soon for more from the Game Room.